And welcome back to our Veterans Voice Radio Show and Ralph Nathan Oko. This is the second half of the show.
Yes, and we're talking about the Great American State Fair, which is represented literally a representation of the United States, and I'm using the word United States, all the 50 states and some of the territories, and what else? Is there another word in addition to territories?
No, I think that's it.
Okay,
I
like
think there's
Guam,
5.
Virgin Islands, and so on.
Yep.
And Cindy went there. She was there, and I've been looking forward to talking to her about this. But before I forget, I want to share something with you. You're in your office right now, or you're in the living room, or in the kitchen. You see that couch that's got a rip in the armrest, or your office, and there's a rip in your chair. You've worn it out with your tush, or you got pillows on your couch, and they look like they've had it. Well, what do? Well, you can buy new ones. They'll never be the same. They're not going to match your color. So you look for a miracle. You look for a miracle that somehow you can reupholster them, right? You can. You can go to Miracle Upholstery. This is a non-paid non-political statement by Ralph. I'm committed to not to the nut house. I'm committed to advertising local businesses in the Vero Beach area, in the Indian River area, that cater to the public, and they're ma-pas. They're not chains. And Joe, who took over for his father, Miracle Upholstery, is literally a couple of buildings down from where you are right now, Cindy and I, in the studio, recording the show for you. And the address is 835 16th Place in Vero Beach. 16th Place is the street where Arby's is at on US 1. Just go west 3-4 buildings, and Miracle Upholstery is right there. Joe's the owner, lovely, charming man, and he is for me, and I paid for it, yes. We've done pillows for couches. We've done, recliners. We've done couches. We've done the pillows for the kitchen, or not the pillow, what you sit on, whatever. Anyway, so they can do all that, and they got fabrics galore, the choices. I just brought to him 2 armrests for my office chair that kind of showed that I ate the ends of them, the cotton or whatever, the fillings coming out. So tell Joe that you heard from our Veterans Voice Radio, where we love and admire his work ethic and his staff. They're wonderful people. So now, Cindy, you're at the Coast to Coast State Fair, Great American State Fair in Washington, D.C. What was the mood like? I mean, you've been to state fairs. You've been to, what do you call the fairgrounds here?
Right.
And those kind of things.
All over the country. I've been to the Kentucky Derby. I've been to a lot of, stuff like that. Yeah.
How would you describe all the other festivity occasions that you've attended as compared to the state fair you just attended in Washington, D.C.?
I think that people were so jubilant. I mean, we didn't meet an enemy. We met one friend after another. I think I said this story to you about the minister. We were sitting at a picnic table because they brought picnic tables out when it was so hot with umbrellas. They added all this stuff on the grass in the mall for people to sit down. And she walked up. This lady was a minister. We didn't know her, from anyone else in the fair. And she said, "Are you all here together?" It was a couple of us sitting at a picnic table, and we had just went to the table, at the same time. We didn't know the other people from Texas and whatever, and actually North Dakota. And so I said, no, we just met here. And she said, I'm walking up to one table, one group of people after another, and that's exactly what everyone's saying. We didn't know each other 15 minutes ago, and now we're fast friends. And it was just amazing to talk with the people, because they were all from different states.
Now, it's interesting because I've been following the FIFA, the soccer thing all over the country.
Yes.
And it's very interesting. You know how you and I think a lot of people are kind of down on some of the media with all the negative regarding news.
I don't like the negative. Yeah.
Negative news sells, positive doesn't. But apparently what's happening, and the media is touching up on it, is that all the foreigners, all the people from all over the world that are attending the soccer matches all throughout the United States are coming out, leaving the United States with the most complete opposite impression that they had foreseen.
Right.
They expected negativism. They expected price gouging.
Yeah.
They expected competition. They expect rudeness, and they didn't.
Right.
They left overwhelmed that were available 24 hours, 7 days a week in stores. Now, prices and the choices of products and the service available and the transportation. And the media jumped on it, and it's a feeding frenzy of how positive these occasions have changed. Because from the outside looking in, sometimes we Americans are not exactly the nicest people. And I've seen how some of them behave when I was in England or Germany or France. We have an attitude. We expect. We're, what's the word? Entitled. But when the foreigners come here, they come with the exact opposite attitude. And the frenzy of pleasure is overwhelming, and they're leaving this country with a very positive, overwhelming love affair that they had. And that's why I'm leading to you, Cindy, of how the mood was. And that's my next question. Of all the people that you did interact with, obviously not knowing ahead of time, were most of them Americans, or did you encounter some out-of-the-country foreigners who came specifically to visit the state fair?
There were a lot of foreign people here from different countries. There were too. Most of it were stateside people.
Correct.
Obviously, there was stateside people, but yeah, like I said, of all the people that were there, I mean, I saw like maybe 6 Grouches.
Well,
that were, and you have to take the heat into account.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
It was 104, 110 degrees. It was hot.
But you said something about air-conditioned buses?
Well, they stepped up. The promoters of this whole thing and the organizers of this whole thing, they brought in giant fans with misting fans. I mean, huge city block fans. The water was constant, nonstop, free. There was ice. There was the buses they brought in. They had the air conditioning cranked up. You can sit in the bus, the whole time if you wanted to. A lot of people did that.
That's great.
All kinds of stuff. They put in cooling tents. They had the picnic benches and the umbrellas, and just they listened. They didn't just let it go. They reacted to what needed to be fixed immediately.
So the emergency stations that they did have throughout were not necessarily exposed to a lot of problems as compared to what problems they would have had the promoters not provided the ice, the water protection, the heat, the buses, and all that. Is that correct?
Yeah. Well, the water was told to us all along, don't worry about it. There's always going to be free water, but they stepped up the game.
That's great.
I mean, they were bringing in pallet loads of bottles of water. And I mean, I was like, the one ice, I thought it was like Mount Everest. There was so much ice. And they had people there you could take 5 bottles of water if you wanted. They wanted you to take it.
Well, yeah, hydration.
They wanted you to take it.
What about sanitary conditions of...
Spotless. They had one after the other, after the other, after the other. They called them not porta-john, some other different one, but people were sweating so much it really wasn't. I mean, you sweated it out right away.
I remember years ago I had a trade show in Philadelphia, and I had a break, so I took a walk outside, by the Bell downtown there, and I was impressed that somebody dropped a piece of paper. There was somebody from the city walking around picking it up.
That's what this was. And the other thing that they did, and I thought it was very unique, but well done, is they covered the garbage cans with a black bunting kind of thing. So it didn't stand out like this, blaze it in your eyes garbage can kind of thing.
So they dressed it up.
They dressed it up. And the other thing that they did, and you saw them do this continually, is clean them out.
That's great.
They'd go around and put a new bag and all that. So there wasn't garbage all over at all. I mean, maybe a little bit here and there, but no, there wasn't.
No, what was the National Mall where the State Fair was at? Was it kind of bedecked with patriotism, flags, and banners?
What they did with that is, and we didn't know it until the end of the first night we were there, outside most every state in different sections or whatever, if you will, decorated. There was like a flower box kind of a thing with gravel in it, and there were American flags in them. You know, the nice size, medium size American flags. And then we'd see people, you know, take the flag, and I'd be like,
I was going to ask you.
Yeah, I don't know about that. And the guy said, no, we want you to take the flags. We're going to replenish that every night. You know, if you want 3 flags, take 3. I mean, you couldn't take 100 flags, certainly, of course. But I mean, if you want 3 flags, please take 3 flags. They're there for the taking. That's why we did it.
Okay, you have to understand, by the way, that quite often, like the water, most likely local distributors, you know, they've got a national product. I won't mention names.
The labels on the water were from all over the place.
Oh, different.
It wasn't just
different
like
brands.
Yeah, there was all different brands.
Great.
It wasn't just
good.
one. Yeah.
Good. So there was no favoritism.
No, whatever bottles of water, they would just take it what you want, and it's ice cold water. Yeah.
Now the state fair, it ran from June 25th to July 10th. That means it ended yesterday.
Yeah.
Now, if you had to do it over again, what would you do different? Would you have planned different?
I wouldn't have. I would have done it the same way. My daughter and I said we wish we could have stayed longer and saw more of it because there was so much of it. We didn't see we couldn't go into every state. We got most of them, but not every one. There was also a pavilion where American Innovation. There was one that had school children education, those kind of things. There was the gentleman that I'm not going to remember his name that modifies and builds the Harley-Davidson motorcycles. They had a whole display of that. SpaceX was there. It was unbelievable. They did a lot of computer stuff where you could have your photo taken with that. The U.S. Patent Trade Office was there showing you. The Small Business Association was a big booth to show you to become a small business owner and entrepreneur in the United States. They actually had a country, state to state to state. And if you had a small business, you got to put the little pin thing on where your business was located. You know, different things like that. The hotel that we stayed at had red, white, and blue popcorn to celebrate. You mean it was like all the I's were dotted, and whoever it was, the marketing people or the event planning people, they really did their homework. They did. It was very authentic and just very cozy and very American.
We'll need to take a break. I want to get back and talk about children.
Okay.
When we get back. This is our Veterans Voice Radio. We're sharing with you Cindy's personal experience with her daughter at the Great American State Fair at the National Pavilion in Washington, D.C. Happy birthday, 250, United States of America.
I'm Dr. Tim Ioannidis at Treasure Coast Dermatology. At Treasure Coast Dermatology, we believe in the prevention and early detection of skin cancer. We are medical doctors, and we focus on the medical aspects of dermatology. You don't need a sales pitch for Botox, collagen, or wrinkle creams. You need a doctor that cares about you and the health of your skin. We feel by not trying to do too much, we can do more for our patients.
Call toll-free 877-870-DERM. That's 877-870-3376.
Meet Norma Howell, patient of Florida Eye Institute.
My sight to me is top priority because you lose your sight, you lose all of your independence. And so with me, it was scary. After meeting Dr. Shoemate, I had a joy. I knew I was going to be okay. My life is just 100+%.
Are you ready to experience truly exceptional patient care? Florida Eye Institute.
Hey, did you hear the latest about our Florida Highwomen?
No, what?
There's a Highwomen Art Gallery in Vero Beach.
Really? Where?
1872 Commerce Avenue.
Wow, when's it open?
7 days a week. Call 954-557-6226 for an appointment anytime.
No kidding?
Just call for your appointment, 954-557-6226, and then go to 1872 Commerce Avenue.
Wow, that's good news.
And welcome back to our Veterans Voice Radio Show. We should sing Happy Birthday again, Ralph. I'm looking for it and I can't find it.
Okay. Well, just a short one. Happy
birthday
birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, United States of America. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah.
How old are you now? 250 plus.
Right.
Okay, I hope you stayed on with this singing. As long as I want to bring up the discussion about children and the state fair, but I'd like all of you to take something to write with. I've got 4 phone numbers I want to share with you, and this concerns domestic abuse victims. It's a very serious problem, and unfortunately, it's not getting enough attention. The resources are there. So I want to give you phone numbers. If you don't have anything to write with, use lipstick and put it in the mirror. You can always take it off. Or just give me a call at 954-557-6226, daylight hours, 7 days a week, and I'll give you the numbers. The first one is the National Domestic Violence Hotline. That's probably the most important one, I think. 800-799-7233. Second, National Sexual Assault Hotline, 800-656-4673. Third, Strong Hearts Native Helpline, 844-762-8483. This is an interesting one. The next one, National Dating Abuse Helpline. I've never heard of that.
No.
866-331-9474. And no, I'm not going to make any jokes about political parties and political candidates here. Seriously, this domestic abuse thing, we need to help each other as best we can. Mm-hmm. And the last is a Victim Connect Resource Center helpline, 855-484-2846. Remember, it takes a hero. It takes courage to call and say, I need help.
Yeah.
Believe me, these organizations are there specifically to help you, anybody that you know that has been victims in one way or another of domestic abuse. So now, going back to the state fair, did the state fair have any kind of a festive mood that you caught that was targeting, in a positive way, children?
They did, apparently, I want to say this past year, it was in the Department of Education area, I want to say, a patriotic
contest?
Yeah, contest, but for artwork. For artwork.
Okay.
That's the word I can't think of. And so they chose on the one wall 5 different, I think it was 5 or 6 different, and it was all around the country paintings that they thought were the best of all the ones that they had gotten. And you could walk through all the different lines and stuff and see all over the country, all from the states. And one that caught my attention, there were a couple of them. There were 3 of them that caught my attention. Of the 6 of them really stood out. One was, and I want to say the person's name is Jaden, so I don't know if it's a female or a male because it could be either one's name, did a rendering of Sitting Bull. And what they did with that one was they used just the colors that were forefront recognized by the Lakota Sioux. And they did the whole painting or mix the color, when you make yellow and blue, it makes green, that kind of thing, to do the whole painting.
Was he sitting or was he on a horse?
It was the face. It was his face.
Okay.
It was his face. And then they had another one that was more, that was a girl that did an Andy Warhol type with the 4 different quadrants of it of Shirley Temple. When she was a girl.
She was cute.
Yeah, that was the other one that stood out. And then there was a third one that stood out to me. It was more of like I don't want to say cartoonish because it definitely wasn't cartoonish, but that kind of feeling.
Caricature?
Yeah, that kind of thing of Paul Revere. And everything was done in red, white, and blue.
That's neat.
Yeah.
Now, we talked about the representation of states and territories. Was there a pavilion for the United States of America? One pavilion?
They did it in the departments when they went down one section. So they had the Commerce Department, they had the Department of Education, they had the Forestry Service. We learned a ton of stuff there about the wildfires and all that. Those kind of Small Business Association, they did the where you get the passports and all that, transportation, agriculture. They did it like that. It was different booths.
Okay, I'm going to add my Okoism, your sense of humor. Did the Supreme Court have a booth?
I didn't see one, but I didn't look for one. They
I
were
don't
too
mean
busy.
disrespect.
I think they were too busy. They had
Yes,
a lot of.
they have been busy.
You know what I read? I did read that they had a lot of cases they were trying to get through before their break came. I did read that since it was local
They're
DC
earning their
news.
money for this,
Yeah, they
this
were.
particular
Yes.
session.
Yeah, some
no
of the
question.
ones. Yeah.
Okay. Now, are you familiar at all with any problems that you know of? Any negative problems? Any
Yeah,
unexpected things?
I wouldn't even key on it. I think that they stepped up to what the weather and all that was all across the board.
It sounds like whoever really ran this thing, the private company, I would
Yeah.
love to know who that company is.
I wanna
I'd love to give him
give
kudos.
I want to say my daughter said private company, so don't quote me. I don't have all the background information on
Well,
that.
I'm going to Google it.
But
just
she
for
was
the heck
kind of
it.
up on all that. It was like Freedom 250 and some of these. I don't know. Some
But
of these
somebody
other
had
ones.
to have the authority
Yeah,
and
totally.
I guess, brain power
Yeah.
to be able to maneuver this and the ability
They had the
to
hoods, but
coordinate all this.
to pull it off right. I mean, they did, and they recognized what needed to be zigging and zagging.
And I think
you know,
I thank you, Cindy. I got to tell
yeah,
you,
my
I feel
pleasure.
like that. I just did the tour of the state fair with your description.
Yeah, I loved
so
it.
I'm glad that you made it. Mm-hmm. I'm delighted you had a good time, and hopefully. Well, this is 250th.
Yeah.
I guess that's the last one I'm going to see.
I don't
on
know.
the big one.
Yeah, if they'll do one 275,
I
everybody.
saw the 200th in 1976.
Yeah.
But I don't think the hoopla then was like it is today.
It was different.
Different.
Yeah, it was different. But the other thing that they did is they did show, not to make it political in the last couple of seconds. You know, J.D. Vance did a nice talk and those kind of things. And the tall ships in New York were
Yes.
gorgeous. I mean, there was a lot of stuff that went on in fireworks and other places. Totally. Kudos to the United States of America for pulling this
And
off.
remember, the
Yeah.
happy birthday parties all year long.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
just one day.
Yeah.
And a special thanks in our honor roll to all our veterans that today we honor.
John Stephen Doane, Army, Vietnam.
Samuel Bruce Dangerfield, Army.
Eugene Knight Jr., Army.
Gerald Jerry Lyman, Army.
Robert Bob James Ryan, first responder.
Dr. Richard V. Grubb, Army and first responder.
Glenn Mellinger Snavely, Army.
William Bill F. Richards, Army, Vietnam.
Timothy John Condon, Navy, first responder.
Linda Lee Nidow, first responder.
Dr. John Chilmagras, first responder.
Richard Albert Gerger, Army.
John L. Jack Omlor, Army.
And all of our other fallen heroes. Your brothers and sisters. And we are all brothers and sisters. Thank you for your service. We proudly salute you at this time. Please, from the bottom of our heart, rest in peace forever.